Under a 50-degree sun, water evaporates in hours, yet a cactus thrives. Organisms survive through adaptation. Define adaptation as a physical feature or behavior helping survival. Every desert adaptation solves one of two problems: saving water or beating the heat. Desert survival is about altering physical structures and daily routines to solve those two exact problems. Plants that adapt to dry desert conditions are called xerophytes. Keep that exact term in mind for your exam. A typical broad green leaf acts like an open bowl of water, losing moisture rapidly through evaporation. To stop this, xerophytes undergo a specific physical change. Their leaves shrink and harden into sharp spines. This drops the surface area where water can escape down to a fraction of a percent and keeps thirsty herbivores away. Because the leaves are now spines, the stem takes over. Look at the saguaro cactus. Its stem is thick, green to perform photosynthesis, and coated in a waterproof waxy layer to seal moisture in. During a rare rainstorm, these pleated ridges expand horizontally, allowing the stem to swell and store up to 900 liters of water. Underground, xerophytes use two distinct strategies to gather that water. A cactus spreads a wide, shallow net of roots right below the surface to instantly catch any light rainfall. Meanwhile, trees like the mesquite grow a single taproot that can reach over 50 meters straight down to pull from deep, hidden aquifers. By eliminating vulnerable leaf surfaces and transforming their stems and roots into specialized water vaults, xerophytic plants solve the desert's lack of water. Animals make their own structural changes to navigate this terrain. Look closely at a camel. They have wide, flat feet to walk over shifting, hot sand without sinking. Up top, they have a double row of extra long eyelashes to block out sand during violent storms. A common misconception is that a camel's hump is a giant sack of liquid water. It actually stores solid fat. When food and water are scarce, the camel's body breaks this fat down, converting it into metabolic energy and creating internal water in the process. Other animals rely on strict behavioral schedules to beat the heat. Reptiles like the rattlesnake and the desert vermilion are crepuscular or nocturnal. They spend peak daytime heat coiled deep in the shade of rocks or dried wood, coming out to hunt only at dawn, dusk, or night. Now, think about how mammals excrete waste. We lose a lot of liquid water. How do you think desert birds, like the buster or emu, and reptiles manage their waste without dehydrating? Instead of liquid urine, desert birds and reptiles excrete solid, white uric acid. This chemical adaptation reduces their liquid water waste to almost zero. While plants alter their physical anatomy to hold water, animals survive through a combination of anatomical changes, strict behavioral schedules, and precise chemical waste management. Humans survive the desert extremes without making biological changes to our bodies. Instead, hunter-gatherer groups like the San Bushmen adopt a nomadic or jajabor lifestyle. Instead of relying on stationary farming, which requires abundant water, they migrate constantly across the landscape, following seasonal rainfall and animal migration patterns. This mobility requires deep cultural knowledge. Nomadic groups rely on ancestral techniques to locate hidden underground water sources, like specialized moisture-storing roots and tubers buried beneath the dry sand. When tribal groups like the Red Indians build temporary desert residences, the architecture is highly specialized. Structures are covered with heavy brush to block the harsh, direct sunlight, while the interior design allows cooling cross breezes to ventilate the space. Human adaptation in the desert relies on mobility, generational knowledge, and specialized temporary architecture to beat the heat and find water. Let's test what we've covered with a quick matching quiz. Look at column A with the saguaro, camel, and bushman, and match them to the correct adaptations in column B. The saguaro matches with the waxy stem and spines. The camel pairs with the fat-storing hump, and the bushmen match with the nomadic lifestyle. Here is your complete Class 8 biology cheat sheet. For plants, remember the term xerophyte. They use spines instead of leaves, thick, waxy stems for storage, and either wide, shallow roots or deep tap roots to collect water. For animals, note the camel's fat-storing hump, the nocturnal habits of reptiles, and the solid uric acid excreted by birds. For humans, the key points are the nomadic Jajabor lifestyle and temporary shaded residences. Take a screenshot of this list right now to use for your study sessions. You have now covered the core concepts required for the WBCHSE curriculum. Happy studying!